My testimony that the border is secure.
We have a secure border in that is a priority for any nation, including ours and our administration.
We have taken unprecedented action over the past year and a half to secure our border.
And we have a process in place to manage migrants at the border. We're working to make sure it's safe and orderly and humane.
The border is closed.
We agree that the border is secure.
We're executing a comprehensive strategy to secure our borders.
One of our highest priorities is to ensure that we have a secure border, and that is what we are doing.
The border is secure.
All right, into this video, we got Awaken with JP on the channel today, and the title is What New York City is Like Now.
All right, sir, do you know why I pulled you over?
No idea. I don't think I was speeding.
It's that Trump 2024 sticker in New York City that's a felony now.
New York City? This looks like Texas.
Don't ruin the video now. But here in New York City, it is both illegal to be Trump or to support Trump.
That's illegal?
Yep, Mayor Adams has outlawed Trump and anything to do with him. It's a first-degree felony now.
That seems pretty unconstitutional.
I see you have Florida plates. What are you doing here in New York City?
Well, I'm a trucker for Trump, as you can probably see by my semi. You see, I'm boycotting making deliveries to this city to protest Trump's political persecution, where the judge ordered him to pay $355 million.
You're refusing to make deliveries in New York City?
That's right, 10-4.
Well,
Yeah. The Truckers for Trump has certainly made a whole lot of noise. Now, even though we can say the impact probably wasn't exactly as we thought it would have been, but they did make some noise. Yeah. It's pretty sad, though. It's pretty sad that they had to go to the extreme to get their point across. But we can be certain that, let's be honest, what is happening to Mr. Trump, irrespective of where you stand politically, is wrong. For those of you who don't want to admit this, it's because you are dishonest. You know that this is some form of political persecution, because every other real estate agent could tell you, businessman could tell you, listen, this is what we do. They overestimate the value of their homes in the hope of getting the largest gain. That is one of the ways that it works out. And the bank's been doing this for years. That's not a new thing, right? Kevin O'Leary even spoke about, am I next?
Supposedly defrauded, testified and said, we didn't lose anything. We want to do business with this guy again. We'd like to, but the judge said, no. Let's penalize this developer for $355 million. And if we're going to do that, let's penalize all the developers all across America. They've all done the same thing. All of them should go to jail, and we should stop building buildings. That's what the message is from New York. Even the governor herself is concerned about what this looks like to investors all around the world. It's not just U.S. domestic. All around the world, people are talking about what happened here.
Wanted to engage in business with this particular organization.
Let me
That'll
put
be
up
really
my
important.
hand.
Go ahead, put your hand up.
I want to put up my hand and ask, Governor, who's next? Who are you going after next?
Am I next for having a perception about this? And it's true, because it's kind of like, why are you guys doing this to Trump when everybody else been doing it so long? Why? Well, show me the man, like they say, and I'll show you the crime.
If you're not making deliveries here, then why are you here?
That's a really good question.
Yeah, it really doesn't make any sense. Seems like you should be anywhere but here.
Yeah, I never really thought about that. I guess it just seemed like being here to not make deliveries here would be the right thing to do.
Well, for your offense of using words and your own beliefs to support Trump, I'm gonna have to write you a ticket.
For how much?
5 years in prison.
5 years in prison?
Yeah, but it's not that bad, because after 5 years in prison, you'll be able to stand trial before receiving your actual prison sentence.
Do you actually think that's right?
Nope, not at all. But you see that surveillance cam up there?
Yeah.
That there feeds right into Mayor Adams' office. And if I don't enforce his new policies, then they put me in prison and execute my family.
Well, that's not good.
Yeah, well, I'm told it helps keep New York City the greatest city on earth.
Oh my God, that man is attacking a woman.
Yeah, he sure is.
Are you?
That is actually so true. New York City will focus on crimes that they consider supposedly big. They will focus on little things, right? While there are actual criminals running around the streets rampant, even those illegal migrants and what they've done.
Following some breaking news out of Athens, Georgia.
2 colleges have canceled classes today as police look for a murderer.
Laken Riley was described as a shining light.
Dean's List nursing student.
Police arrested 26-year-old Jose Antonio Ibarra.
Ibarra crossed into Texas illegally back in September of 2022, then was released into the United States on parole.
We're confident this border is secure.
We have a secure border.
We agree that the border is secure.
And we have a process in place to manage migrants at the border.
They were able to get away with this stuff. It's like, how in the world did that happen? After you put your hands on police officers, and then once you were freed in prison, you gave people the bird.
Here's one suspect flipping the bird to the cameras. He could care less. Another blows kisses as he smiles and laughs. The other suspect next to him also putting up the middle fingers and cursing at those reporters. Remorseless, brazen, smug.
And you walked around as if you did something positive. Do you understand the level of inconsistencies going on here? And I think that's what he's trying to highlight, showing that it's just crazy how these people behave in New York City. Anyway, let's keep going.
You gonna do something? Well, you see, that there man pummeling that woman in the face, very viciously, I might add, he is an illegal alien and she is a citizen of New York. And you see, Mayor Adams has made it a crime for us to stop crime that's being perpetrated on citizens of New York by people who are illegally here.
Wow.
Sanctuary city kind of thing.
That is crazy. But that's the policy, though. Even though they're saying, oh, the New York, what was it? The governor, Kathy Hochul, she was bragging on The View about how much the crime is so low. But the truth is they're not reporting the crimes that are being committed by illegal migrants.
Can
crime.
I interrupt you for a second? Yeah. Because the CEO of the MTA says that 1% of subway suspects are responsible for more than 20% of the crime because of New York's bail reform laws, which allows them to go back out there and commit more crimes.
I'll get to bail in 1 second. Was there an order of protection? We have to protect the victims of domestic violence. My mother was a champion for victims of domestic violence.
But there was just a crime on Long Island where body parts were found all over Long Island. They had 4 suspects. They let them go. And now they're out there still. So what is the deal here?
Right.
It sounds insane to me.
Yikes.
Part of the sanctuary city laws is to make sure that the illegal migrants are in no way being constrained or held accountable by the law. So we're not getting the real statistics here of what is really actually going on. While at the same time, those who are criminals are let go. It goes to show there's a level of hypocrisy here. And then at the same time, we're going for Trump because we got to get Trump by any means necessary.
It's like violent crime that's taking place outside. I look outside, I look at the streets. It's so different from when I left New York. It's so different. It's dirty and it's crime-ridden. And today you walk down the street and you get mugged or you get shot. You have a new form of crime now. You have migrant crime. Migrants are trying to beat up our police officers. They're trying to do things that we've never seen before, actually. We are going to have a problem with, I call it Biden migrant crime, because you have millions of people came into this place, this country that has been so badly hurt, and they're doing things that nobody's ever seen before. So you have violent migrant crime, and they're after me for doing nothing wrong. This time they have something that's really down and dirty that frankly, no country does other than a third world country, a banana republic.
You don't have a right to be above the law. What did Letitia James says?
Donald Trump may have authored the art of the deal, but he perfected the art of the steal.
But it's like when you listen to them talking, it's almost like you will think that they are so honest about everything. But that's not really the case. There's a double standard, a 2 tiers, a system of justice. They go for Trump for one thing and let the worst criminals get away with the worst things, showing that they're not really about what they say.
Beating her to a pulp? You're the police. Do something. Oh, right. Excuse me, sir. I have a debit card worth $10,000 for you, funded with taxpayer money. Oh,
That is epic. I see what he's doing. And it's true, because right after those illegal migrants got themselves in trouble for putting their hands on the policeman, not even a few days later, you know, Mayor Eric Adams went on to make laws and talking about how it was a good thing for them to be giving credit cards to these individuals. After all of that is yet brewing.
Tonight, New York City's mayor pushing back on criticism of a new $50 million program to hand out prepaid debit cards to migrant families.
We need to dispel the rumor that we gave American Express cards to everyone.
Adams insisting the prepaid cards would curb the cost of inefficient food distribution that has led to expensive food waste, potentially saving taxpayers roughly $7 million a year. Adding the cards can only be used for food and baby supplies, with a limit of up to $1,000 per month for a family of 4.
If this is successful, we're going to expand it even more.
The pilot program drawing immediate criticism, including from rapper 50 Cent, who went on to social media to vent his frustration, writing, "Maybe Trump is the answer."
I mean, why don't you do that for taxpayers, man? People who's been living in this country and have been paying taxes and or deserving that level of attention. Why aren't you doing that for them? And again, it goes to show the level of hypocrisy going on here as well.
And because I'm not checking your ID, because that would be illegal here in New York, you can just go get another one in about an hour or so. Yeah, I'll tell you, it's nice to see them beating up a woman for a change. Usually they're attacking us police officers. And you just let them? Yep, Mayor Adams has made it a crime for us to stop crime. Crime is fully legalized here in New York now, for medicinal purposes. Yet him and his leftist buddies have made doing legal things, like in Trump's case, conducting business, a crime. Yeah, that appears to be the case. Well, that's why me and my trucker friends are doing this delivery boycott to help put an end to this insanity. What's your boycott actually gonna do? Well, you know how New York has a population of about 10 million people? Well, with all the sanctuary city illegals, it's a lot higher than that, cowboy. Right. So a city with a population well over 10 million. All those people need food, right? Affirmative. And do you know how much of that food is actually grown in New York City? I've never really thought about that. Maybe 30%? None. Zero. It's all trucked in and delivered. So with our delivery boycott, the corrupt authorities who are ruining the home of citizens with their lawless corruption will have no choice but to listen and back down at the threat of over 10 million people starving. Well, I hate to break it to you, kid, but I don't think that'll bother him. No. Over 10 million people could starve to death. Well, between you and me, I kind of think that's what they want.
That's messed up. Well, I did believe New York City was going to handle that pretty well. New York City got a lot of money. It's one of the biggest states in the United States. It was gonna handle, which I believe that was gonna happen. Prices might go up for a short period of time, but they were gonna leverage that. I knew this was gonna happen, and they did, which is good, because I don't want innocent people to suffer because of the rhetoric of people in politics who are putting policies in place that are completely completely inconsistent with what the voters had in mind. For me, I'm like, they shouldn't suffer because of that. I understand what the truckers were saying. I don't understand the statement that they were trying to make, but I don't think innocent people should suffer because of politicians and policies that they put in place that are so bad. I don't agree with that either. So I think it was a good thing that nobody starved to death. That's a positive thing from my perspective.
Really? Yep. Like they truly care that little about law-abiding citizens? I think it's less about how little they care and more about how much they hate. Whoa, New York is f***ed. That's correct. Hey, trucker for Trump, you're a fascist! And police, I hate you! You're making the streets terribly unsafe! Defund the police, you scumbag! Defund the police! Defund the police! Defund the... Are you allowed to just shoot people like that? Looked like a zombie to me. It did, didn't it? Affirmative. The city's going to hell. Hey, where's your next stop? Florida. Would you mind taking me there? Well, I guess, but don't you have... Just get me the hell out of here. Yes, sir. Take me to Florida.
Oh, that was epic. Take me to Florida. Oh, great. Very few will admit it that the policies of the Floridians and Ron DeSantis is much better than that of New York City. Even though New York City has their positive things, and I've lived in New York, and I can tell you it's not. There's some things that are really good. But at the same time, what it has become under Democratic policies and rhetoric and left-wing propagandas, it's not a good thing. And people are waking up to that reality. That's why they're fleeing. Some of them are saying, I'm out. You know, friends, what does this tell you? All right, here's one thing that you need to keep in mind. Look at this. Righteousness exalteth a nation, but sin is a reproach to many people. All right, Proverbs is giving us principles here whereby a person can govern. All right, so wherever there is a nation where righteousness doesn't dwell at the root and foundation, like making sure people is doing the right thing. So I want you to think of the word righteousness as doing what is right? So when that is at the foundation of the laws of a society, that nation, that city, those communities shall be exalted. But when sin takes the foundation and the root of policies in a particular community, state, city, you name it, what happens, it becomes a reproach to any people. Now, keep in mind, the word reproach here means to diminish any people. And I want you to highlight this. So if the nation has laws that are based on good, right doings, it rewards the good people and it deals with the evildoers, that nation shall be exalted. Now, you don't have to make these things Christian. You don't have to. It's a matter of exalting laws that are protecting people from criminals and addressing and rewarding the good people and actually holding accountable the evildoers. If you do that, your state and your city will prosper. But when you exalt evildoers, which I will highlight here as sin, it diminishes the people. It makes the people small. It robs them of their value. This is why they pack up and leave. And what's going on here, in essence, what you see happening in New York City, a lot more value is being given to the illegal migrants. A lot more value is being given to the people who were not born and raised here and have not paying taxpayer dollars. Instead, they're getting all the praise and all the honor and all the glory. And there is also this idea of going after Donald J. Trump, while there are people who've done similar things and should be prosecuted alike, but that's not going on either. Why? Because the system and the law is being used to weaponized against a political candidate that they cannot stand. So what's happening as a result? The people are being diminished. Now, I'm in no way advocating for things to make matters worse. All I'm simply saying is, man, where is righteousness? Because without righteousness makes a nation great. It exalts a nation. But if you keep promoting sin and evildoers, the Bible tells us it is a reproach to many people. And you're going to see that happening more and more each and every time these laws are put in place that demotes God and exalt evil. It will never work for that race. You can simply watch it come down like a demolition derby building. The building will keep on falling down. New York City will not recover unless it goes back to exalting values that are in line with human dignity, prosperity, and righteousness. If they don't do that, they will keep going down. And the sad reality is what happens in New York has an impact on the rest of the states in these United States. And this is not a positive thing either. We must pray against it. We must speak about this and hopefully hold our leaders accountable. And again, going back to democratic policies, it's not happening just because New Yorkers are bad people. It's happening because those who are in power are corrupt. I'm done talking. Share your thought and perspective with me. I want to hear from you. Have a good one. Bye.